right, ladies and gentlemen, in chat, online, and in our live stream, welcome back. This is SMU Gravical 2023. Today, we are limitless. In fact, we're going to go over this entire weekend, this 4-day rock climbing competition, bouldering competition. We are in day 3 right now. We're about to move into our next event category. First up, big shout out to our event sponsors, the people who have helped us make this competition possible. Big thank you to the official presenting partner from All Sports Equipment, the specialist of supplier of quality climbing and mountaineering equipment. Thank you, All Sports. And also a big thank you to the official climbing gym, Boulder Planet, the biggest bouldering gym in the north of Singapore, as well as the official hangboards from Climbbar, and the official physiotherapy partner, the Rehab Lab. Thank you very much for helping us make this event possible through the support, direct and indirect support. Couldn't have done it without you. So, friends, families, in chat, share the link around if you will. We are about to go live into the event real soon, in a couple of minutes in fact, and we're glad you're here. If you're here in chat, if you just join us, say hi. We're going to be reading it. You see this thing right here. That's where your the video feed and chat goes. We're going to be reading there, so let us know your thoughts. We're going to ask you some questions too. Post it up in there, and we'll do a shout out whenever we can. I think if I'm not wrong, the next category coming up should be the open women's category, right?
That's
the elite level for women's. What round would this be, Warren?
So this would be the semi-finals, and I believe we are seeing the top 20 women. Right, they qualified. They took part in the qualifiers early this morning. I believe there was 23 qualifiers, competitors, and this is the top 20.
Oh, okay. So 3 unfortunate ladies had
exactly.
to had to go home after their event today.
That's right.
Boo.
Press F. Press F.
Yeah. Press if you're in chat with us, F for our competitors had to go home today. 3 lonely ladies.
That's right.
Yeah, but I guess that's the nature of competitions, right?
Exactly. You win some, you lose some, and you know you pick yourself up. You try again later, and try again the next time round.
Yeah. Well, you know, but as far as like competitions go, I think Singapore is one of the few countries in our region that has such a lively and consistent event and competition scene, particularly for rock climbing. Because I think in our region, not so many climbers have the number of climbing gyms that we do. They also don't have the number and types, variety of climbing competitions that we do. We have like 3 to 4 national competitions a year, bouldering competitions, and high quality ones as well, right? I mean, if you've been watching the live stream so far, you would have noticed that the SMU Gravical event location, the SMU event hall, the walls that have been set up, that is truly quite a rare thing to come by.
Very high production value, right?
Very high production value, yeah.
Once again, this event is brought to you by the SMU Office of Student Life, as well as the SMU Climb Team. And the SMU Climb Team is actually all students, right? And can you believe, right, something of such high production value is done by all students?
Yeah. There's been a lot of late nights, too much bubble tea. There've been a lot of sacrifices as
too
far
much
as
coffee in the morning, bubble tea in the afternoon, and then maybe alcohol at night.
A lot of neglected homework and assignments, asking friends to mark attendance for them in tutorial and all that. So it's been quite a journey. It's been quite a journey. Yeah. So back to the event though. I think our competitors have also gone through quite a journey, right? They had to work really hard. I think many of our ladies, I think we have some noteworthy competitors as well that we would like to mention. But many of them have put in quite a lot of time and energy to train consistently to prepare for this event, and to kind of arrive at this place where they are ready to test themselves a little bit, right? To challenge themselves a little bit, to learn and to continue growing, because I think everyone here is united in their motivation to want to be better climbers, right?
This is like you've been studying for a long while. You're preparing for your exams, and right here in front of us in the wall, right, that's your exam paper. Would you say that it's kind of similar?
with one exception that I would actually enjoy this kind of exams.
Me too. Me too. I enjoy
no.
watching, and I'm sure the climbers would enjoy climbing. So earlier this afternoon, I actually had the opportunity to speak to some of our climbers as well. And most interestingly, right, one of our climbers, she's here from Malaysia.
Okay.
Right, her name is Renee, and she has only been climbing for 2.5 years, and she has climbed her way into the open category.
Wow.
We're going to see her later on in the semi-finals. Isn't that just impressive? I cannot believe that someone climbed their way into open in just 2.5 years.
2.5 years, yeah. 2.5 years is a very, very short time, right? So imagine you're just learning how to climb. You're for 6 months or so. You're really just, starting to practice your basics. First year, maybe you get a bit serious about it. You master the basics. But that just leaves like 1.5 years to get good at competitive climbing. So anybody, let me know in chat if you've done a bit of competitive climbing.
Have you done some competitive climbing yourself?
Yeah, I have.
You have?
And that was back in the days when I was still with NUS. I only started climbing when I was at NUS. So the first, I think 2 to 3 years was still a lot of competitions, small and big.
Right.
But it took us a long time even just to get to a good spot where you're kind of regularly able to take part in competitions and events, let alone 2.5 years traveling internationally to climb right now. So this is a new level, right? It's a new level and new, definitely new high expectations for Renee, for sure.
And I must say though, for a non-climber myself, right, looking at an event like this, I can feel, right, that the climbing community is always so welcoming, so encouraging, right? Like they might be on the wall, but it feels like everyone is on the wall, right? Shouting their allays, shouting their so on and so forth, right?
Yes.
So just to see who we are supporting, right? I think it's time to bring up the leaderboard of our semi-finalists. Don't you think so?
Oh yeah, heck yeah. Let's have a look. At the leaderboard for this coming category.
That's right. So we have a total of 20 climbers in the semi-finals. Right, on screen right now you see 10 climbers, and they are ordered in order of their ranking based on their performance in the qualifying rounds.
Yeah, so it also means, right, like if you look at the leaderboard, the top 3 positions, Glenna, Li Ting, and Nacha, they all have similar results. 5 tops, 5 zones, and 5 attempts to top and to zone. That means basically that these 3 ladies, they finished the earlier qualification rounds. They finished all 5 challenges, 1 try each.
Like full marks, basically, right?
Doesn't get better than that for perfect scores, right? So
let's take a look at the next 10.
Yep. So you can see a total of 20 competitors, and even number 20, right, Jace, she's qualified with 3 tops and 3 zones, so she's completed 3 challenges in total. So it seems to me like this field is going to be pretty strong.
Exactly.
Right? Most of our ladies are doing quite well. But this is the semi-final rounds, which traditionally will be a significant step up from the qualifying round. So like qualifying is a bit of a welcome party, the semi-final
it's
round.
A warm up. It's the warm up, right?
Yeah, this is when the serious, the real climbing starts,
That's right, and it seems like we have our first climber ready, right? Coming on, and I think she's just getting ready before she attempts the first boulder of the day. And who's our first climber for the evening?
Based on the leaderboard, I think we have Jace Tan. She's coming up on problem number 1. I believe our climbers are going to have about 5 minutes to complete each problem. So what they're doing would be similar to the Open Men's semifinals earlier. They're going through the IFSC rotation format. That would be something that the International World Cup climbing circuit uses as well. But it's a rotation, meaning climbers take turns to climb and then to rest for the same amount of time. So climber 1 would climb for 5 minutes and then rest for 5 minutes after.
Okay.
At the same time, climber 2, while climber 1 is resting, will be climbing their first challenge. And then when climber 2 is resting, climber 1 will proceed to their second challenge. Climber 3 is going to come into their first challenge.
I see. So the
And this
rotation
goes
just
on.
goes on and on and on until everybody gets a shot on the wall and
Yes.
they essentially rotate out of all the problems.
Yeah. So we're also giving, all our competitors and ensuring that all our ladies get the same fair chance at attempting these challenges, these problems. And they are truly problems indeed to be solved, because this format does not have any demonstration or prior instructions before they start. So our ladies are starting on the same blank slate. Nobody has had additional time to preview or to prepare these problems. They're going to be going in fresh. They're going to be trying it for the very first time, every one of them.
Right. And I believe the 5 minutes attempt time that each contestant has, right, they would have to take the time to study the problem, come up with a proposed beta for their take on the problem.
Yep.
All right. And then all while trying to solve it in as little attempts as possible. Am I right?
Yeah, totally. The pressures, the pressures that they face cannot be overstated here, because it's intense. It's intense. They're trying it for the first time. They don't know the ideal ways, and every time they go up onto the climb, it affects their final scores. Right? You remember in the leaderboard there were the attempts to zone and attempt to tops score. Now that effectively reduces the total score that they have. So the more tries they take, the lower their overall score is going to be. So the perfect score, of course, is if you can finish each problem on the first try. Within 5 minutes.
Within 5 minutes. And so in the context of the semi-finals here today, that would be 4 tops, 4 zones, and ideally in 4 attempts as well, right? That would be
exactly
as
right.
good as it gets for our semi-finalists this evening.
Exactly right. And so I think our ladies are very aware of that expectation, but it's a minefield and mind games right now. If you step onto the stage, feeling the pressure already, I think that's going to affect the way you climb. So our ladies have to simultaneously manage the challenges, but also keep that mental game on point and keep all these insecurities and all these challenges and doubts in check, right? So our climbers are going through a lot. Friends, if you're joining us or if you want to join us, please share the link to everyone that you know who wants to watch the semi-finals. That would be for the open women's category that's happening right now. Jace Tan on problem 1. Okay,
and I see in the chat right now we have a avid supporter of Jace, Sunny. Right, Sunny says Jace. Right, and I'm sure Jace can feel your support all the way from here. Right, so Michael, as a ex-competitor climber, a competitive climber, I mean, talk me through problem 1. Right, like what are we dealing with right here on problem 1?
Indeed, very interesting. I'm gonna take my time to talk a little bit about this, mainly because I think the honor should go to Jace to solve this problem on her own. And I mean, not that she can't hear me, but I think there's something special to be felt and to be said about watching our competitor kind of decipher it as it goes, right? But there are some interesting things that we can already tell from the overview. This view in particular, right, the wall is actually quite steeply overhanging. I think it's around like 30 degrees or even closer to 40 degrees.
Okay.
So, make no mistake, whatever you see on the wall, even if it looks like it offers reasonable grip,
it may not be as easy as it seems, right?
Yeah.
There's more to it behind.
Yeah, the overhang is going to negate a lot of that. Even if it's a good grip on the overhang, it's going to feel like you need to pull with a good amount of strength.
And I see that right now, right, we have many supporters of Jace coming into the chat, right? So be sure to share this link with your friends, right? Jace is gonna have around 1 more minute to attempt the problem. So give it up for Jace. Ale, Jace.
I think Jace comes from Team NUS as well. That's where all that support coming from. Delia. Delia, if you can hear me, we need you to calm down a bit. You're using up all everyone's digital characters. Leave some for us, please.
And
Hey.
then Sunny now joins in.
Sunny, you too. Stop it. Leave some characters for us. So Jace is going to take a little turn to have a break now. Well earned actually. First challenge already you can see from her performance, not as easy as it looks. Very big handholds and footholds, but clearly something else is required. All right. Next up we have Xin Yi. Also got some friends in chat now. Mustard Cookies, welcome back. It's nice to see you. Let's see what she brings to the table. And let's see if she can solve this puzzle. Right. The big scoops, the big wedges, big green wedges. So I've just noticed something about this particular climb we're in on this first challenge. The problem has been set up deliberately across two wall angles.
Okay.
So even though the left side of the wall is consistently overhanging at 30 degrees, the right side isn't at the same angle.
Okay.
Right now that to me as a climber is significant because it means that the first four pieces you can see that Shinyi and Jace were trying to get on to start their climb.
Mm-hmm.
That means that those pieces are not actually placed at an angle that you can reliably pull back on.
Okay.
Which would probably, to me, would explain why Shinyi and Jace are kind of having a really hard time trying to not just getting off the ground, but getting in to the third or the fourth movement, because the angles oblige them not only to put their hands on, they are probably actually going to need to pull pretty hard. Okay, now a big part of the challenge is the fact that she's only got her right hand on that handhold. Right, you can see her fighting. You can see her fighting to stay on the corner of the wall, the arete. Right, and that's because if she didn't have a left hand hold, or if her left hand was weak, she'll come flying off straight away. She needs to do what we call a compression,
Okay.
and a consistent compression all across the start of the climb.
Right. So essentially, you have to be really controlled. It's not just about brute force. You have to compress it and make sure steady holds before you move on to the next piece and the next piece until you transit to the second phase of the wall.
Yeah, totally. Very demanding, and I think a little a little mean of the setters as well.
Straight up, first two pieces of problem one. Here you go.
Yes, and so this is you'll start to notice this when you watch competitions a little more regularly. Is that every event, every setup will be a little bit different, and some of them are intentionally designed to kind of mess with the competitors' heads a little bit. Like this one, for example, to give them a strong, a physically demanding problem right at the start. So straight up, they're going to find out if the competitors have the experience or have the skills to manage, whether they can manage the stress and the expectations.
Right.
Very interesting. The field is currently still wide open. We only have two competitors out, Shinny and Jace. Both of them have been working hard, but not much success at this point. However, they still have a lot of time and 3 more problems to try to get the pointer. So, fingers crossed, friends. Team NUS, we need you. We need you to come back with them for problems 2, 3, and 4. Yeah.
I have a feeling they'll be coming back soon, right? Because next up, in the next rotation, we will be expecting Kristen on boulder 1, as well as Jace is now taking her second shot, right? In just a mere 15 seconds more, we will see Jace and Kristen joining us on the wall. So we'll hang tight. And with that whistle blow, we now enter our next rotation with climber number 8, Kristen, on boulder 1. Let's see her take on this very demanding problem like we just discussed. And of course, not forgetting climber number 18, Jace Tan, who is now studying, right, what her solution to the problem would be as she tackles boulder 2.
Nice strong start for Jace on problem 2. Contrasting styles, very wildly contrasting styles. Problem 1, a lot of control, coordinated control, very physical. It's almost like you're holding your breath with every movement. Problem 2, quite the opposite. Jumping, free flow movement, you know, straight up, right? Look at that. Go. Beautiful movement from Jace.
And I
very
think
brave.
Straight up, just between boulder 1 and boulder 2, you can already see, right, the different demands that the route setters have in mind for our competitors, right? Just like you said, I think we're looking at something more explosive, more dynamic for boulder 2, whereas for route 1, it's something more intentional, more measured as you compress yourself to inch your way forward and upwards.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's what you would be referring to. Would also be what climbers often call the styles, contrasting styles in the climb. Problem 2, clearly much more dynamic at the start at least. But on problem 2, you can also see it gets technical or very skill intensive very soon, because after she makes the jump, Jace still has to navigate and negotiate a couple of really huge kind of balls that have been fixed into the walls. Those we call slopers. They will be made of fiberglass. They'll be made of fiberglass. They're fixed into the walls. They're called slopers or volumes. Okay, they're gonna need a good amount of body positioning skill and experience in using holds like these would definitely help. Oh, chat just popped in, Delia. Thank you for reminding us and telling us an otherwise unknown moniker for Jace, Dino Queen. She indeed nailed that opening dino pretty well. Very confident. I hope that gives her the boost she needs to go all the way up to the zone and the top as well. Right, let's keep watching. Very smooth start. Still trying to figure out the second move after the jump. What will it be? Kristen doing well on problem 1, finally making a breakthrough, a much needed breakthrough. She's dangling right now though between the two wall surfaces. Her right heel just keeping her on. If she lets go right now, she's gonna come swinging off. She's got to figure something out right now that's gonna keep her on the walls.
That's a very, very good attempt. I believe, indeed, like you said, to borrow your words, Michael, that was indeed a breakthrough, right? Like, we've only seen 3 competitors so far, but so far, Kristen is the first person that made it to the zone on Boulder 1.
Yeah, and bit by bit, we're starting to see the potential solutions for these climbs as well. And it looks like problem 1 is going to need our girls to fight, and to fight hard. They're pitted against the overhang. They are put into really demanding compression, put through a bunch of compression movements, and even then, at the crux of the at the zone, they're stretched out, and if they're not careful, a sudden change in their position is gonna throw them right off the wall.
Yeah,
So,
I believe like the weight distribution is perhaps the key. I don't know, right? I might be ignorant a little bit here, but I feel like weight distribution is where it's at.
Yeah, that's definitely a key. That's definitely something that they need to be mindful of. Weight distribution, uniquely in this case, across all 4 points of contact on their bodies, their hands as well as their feet, right? Not just their hands. Next up on problem 1, now we bring over from Malaysia. I believe this is Renee Tan that we were referring to. 2.5 years in competition. This is she. She's up on problem number 1. She's joined by Sini on problem 2. Let's see how they do. Nice technical move there by Renee. Did you notice the sneaky little knee bar at the start? That helps keep her in that position. Well done. Nice and strong as well. She managed to grab the left-hand grip quite securely, saving her a bit of strength, allowing her to keep her position on the walls. What a move. What a move.
So looking over at Boulder 2 right now, it does seem like Singy has a little bit of a different approach compared to what we saw earlier by Jace. What do you think of it, Michael? The dynamic start, or is there options for different starting moves over here?
Oh yeah, for sure. Here's where it gets interesting, I feel. For competition climbing, is that the problems remain the same, but the solutions are typically quite personal. If a climber knows how to use their assets and their attributes to their advantage, if they're flexible, they know how to use their flexibility. If they're strong, they know when and how to use their strength. If they're good at dynos, they know how to control their movement. That allows the climbers to open up different solutions. Like in this case, Shini felt more secure facing outward when she jumped, and that allowed her to nail the jump a little more easily. But that now, as you can see, it requires her to move a little differently while using the sloper. Okay, but she seems to have worked out a bit of a solution here. Let's see where she goes from it.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how she continues to navigate her way up towards the zone. I'm sure we'll see her with her next attempt, and we'll see how she continues to develop her beta for the problem.
Renee, in the meantime, problem 1, just trying everything she can, pulling out all the stops right now. All her skills up on display now. Flexibility apparently is one of her key attributes. She's just pretty much did almost a full-on split across the 2 big footholds on problem 1 to try to help her bridge across those 2 positions. Didn't work out as intended, but she might have learned something from it, right? So just like we mentioned in the men's category earlier, I think one of the key tests for the competitors in a competition like this is their ability to learn fast and to identify the things they need to learn and to learn it fast so they can adapt to the challenges and adapt correctly, but also adapt quickly within 5 minutes. And this is the nature of the game, right?
And I think the situational awareness, I think about spatial awareness as well, and I think about just the power of visualization, right? How do you stand at the bottom of the mat, look up, and visualize what a potential beta looks like?
Totally. So it's a little bit of imagination, but supported by experience and say a little practice as well. So that information is not only available, but it's accurate, right? It's terribly difficult to expect yourself to do all these things in an event during a competition if you've never done any practice before. So our girls have had to put in quite a bit of time to prepare themselves for this. And yet, at each event, they're surprised at every turn, and you gotta learn again. So that's how bouldering it's exciting and interesting for a lot of climbers.
And right now, joining us on the wall, taking her first shot at the semi-final run, we have climber number 5, Lynette Cole, on boulder 1. And we have Kristen attempting her second route on boulder 2, as well as Jace climbing boulder 3.
So friends, in chat as well as on the live stream, if you think the lady on problem 1, Lynette, might appear familiar, and the shirt she's wearing might appear familiar, well, that's because she is the actual person behind the casual range of apparel, tops and bottoms, that you see are quite popular with climbers in Singapore. This is her. This is Lynette.
And I believe Lynette might be the second person that reached the zone on problem 1 today, right? And she's going all the way. She's the first person to reach the top today. My goodness, talk about a breakthrough.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, breakthrough indeed. I think she's set the bar a little high right now. Maybe this could cause a little bit of an upset on the roster, because remember, our ladies need to try to complete as many challenges as they can, as many problems as they can, in order to secure their place in the final rounds. So they need to be strong in a variety of ways, across a variety of problems. Ideally, they should be able to do it in as little tries as possible. So Lynette's off to a good start for sure. I think that might even have been her first try. If it is, that would be a flash for her, and that would really put her ahead of her peers right now.
Talking about coming out with a strong start, you really couldn't get any stronger than that.
Hey, what a way to go. Nice job, Lynette.
So
Still
look,
still on the wall. So Jace and Kristen, problems 2 and 3. We got some friends in chat now. Come on, Kristen, you can do this. Let's go.
Okay. So looking at both boulder 3 and boulder 2, I'm just gonna tell you what I see and you let me know if I'm getting this right. It looks like both have similar styles in the sense that it's both a slightly more dynamic start, just that for boulder 2, we require the competitors to be scrunched up on a volume, all 4 contact points on a volume before they lift off. Whereas on boulder 3, slightly different, where they are spread out like a starfish before they make their first transition.
Oh yeah, that about sums it up. I think it's climbers, modern boulderers will be very familiar with the style that's involved in problem 3 right now. The dreaded starfish is quite a common way to set coordinated dynamic climbs right now.
Okay.
This style of setting is a little bit like parkour, but it requires climbers to do not just one movement in quick succession, but typically to the tune of 2 to 4 quick movements in succession. So what you're seeing Jace try to do right now is that she has to match her hands on the right starting hold, wind up, hop across, catch the next big handhold, plant her foot, and using those two contact points, control her body's movement to ensure she doesn't pop off. So right now she's doing the first two movements really well. Yeah, and she only just mastered the ability to control her movement. Okay, she's earned her zone for sure, but I think the multiple attempts might have worn her out a little bit, so she really needs to be careful to conserve her strength right now to finish the problem. Because from what I can see, I feel that last section is actually going to be the complete opposite style to how she started the climb.
And I think through this, you can also see that our route setting team really has a very clear idea of how they want to test and put our competitors, right? Make them sweat for it, make them work for it.
Yeah, indeed. This is, after all, the open elite level category right now. So these ladies are some of the best that Singapore and the region have to offer. You know, make no mistake, I don't think we're here to punish the ladies. If anything, we're here to offer them an opportunity to test themselves. But also, I believe me when I say that I feel like the setters totally believe that the ladies have what it takes to complete these problems as well. Yeah, you win some, or you learn some.
You learn some,
Yeah,
exactly.
or you learn some. That's how we're gonna go today, right?
Yeah, and I think that's what's so beautiful about climb, and that's what makes the climb so attractive to so many people, right? The physical demands may be punishing, right? But definitely that moment when you reach the top, right? The experience cannot be more rewarding.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta earn it. But when you do, it's very, very satisfying. So, fingers crossed now. Moving on, we are looking now on problem 1. That's Atira Fuzli. She's taken on her first challenge today. On problem number 1, Renee, in the meantime, making some progress on 2. Much needed, and also to the cheers of her friends here at the SMU event hall.
And I believe up to this moment, we have yet to see a top on Boulder 2 as well, right? So let's hope, once again, Renee may be the one to break through, and we'll stay tuned, and we'll see. We're literally on the edge of our seats right now.
Renee on problem 2, clearly very physically able. You can see her musculature on her back, her shoulders, very, very strong. But I think she needs to overcome 2 technical challenges right now. Big foot hold for her left foot. It seems she's always using it, the big foot hold, but it's not giving her a very good grip because of the angle of the wall and the rounded nature of that foothold. She's got to figure a way to make that an effective foot position, but also reaching out to the right side. 2 ladies now, we can see it's a small hold. It's not giving our ladies something very good to catch hold of. So she's got to use her left foot, but at the same time change her body positioning, which is why she seems to be trying this figure 4 maneuver, right? She's got to move to it precisely and preferably actually a little slowly, so she's got time to react and to grip it in a good way. Very tough challenge in that position.
That's right. And speaking about tough, when we look at boulder 3, right, Michael, just like you said earlier, the coordinated movements, right, the multiple coordinated movements required, that series of changes that you just have to nail is proving also to be very challenging so far.
That's all the time we have for this round, I'm afraid. So, ladies are moving on right now. Jace takes on a final challenge on problem number 4 on the slabby section of the competition wall. Tiny starts, tiny handholds and footholds to start, but big sloping holes right up the middle into an unknown finish. She is joined by Christian on problem 3, sorry, and Lynette on problem 2. And up on problem 1 now, taking on the first challenge. That's Edie or Idalin Dizon. Now, if you've watched Edie climb before around Singapore, around the various gyms, you will know that she is someone who has a very high level of skill and control. She is also known for her flexibility. You often see her doing literal splits on the walls. So we're going to see if that helps her out today, because the positions of compression and control could favor her skill set. Right, but she's got to make it work still, and she's got to be able to sustain the effort all the way through to the top.
And right now, focusing on boulder 2, it seems like our casual climber, and that is Christian. I'm sorry, that is Lynette. Lynette on boulder 2, making a breakthrough to the top. All right. One might say she casually made it to the top. Don't you think so?
Yeah, very casually indeed. What a nice finish though. What a nice finish. You can see that she worked hard for it, but very gracefully too. I love that about watching ladies climb. Really, is that sometimes with the guys, you can see their effort and can hear it, and they get we tend to get like really gritty with their process, right? And there is something to be said about how impressive that could be. But with the ladies, it's extra. There's something extra special, right? When they overcome a severe challenge with grace, right? Just like Christian up now on problem 3. Straight to the end. Straight to the end. Fantastic performance. What a treat. What a treat. Well done, Christian. Still on the walls though. Edie on 1 and Jace on 4. Team NUS, gotta help her out a little bit. On 4, see her through. This last challenge, let's go! There we go. Just like I said, Edie with her legendary flexibility and control in problem 1. Right up into the zone. Very careful now. She wants to make this count. Now, for those of you watching at home, if you've never encountered this before, this big sloper that Edie is under right now, it's got a spot to put your hands in. It's in an undercling or an upside down position. But the spot to put your hand in on this angle of the wall is actually not good at all. It's like a rounded section of the volume. It offers you something to push against, but it's not much to grip onto. So when Edie is there, the reason why she's not able to move off of that position easily is because she has to keep squeezing her elbows together and pushing upwards in order to stay on the wall, let alone move, right? So very, very challenging. She's done quite well so far. But this is also a testament to just how good Lynette was when she finished that problem quite quickly.
And with that, we have switched up the rotation. And we have Judith joining us on boulder 1, Athira on boulder 2, Renee on 3, and Shin-Yi on 4.
There we go. Judith making quick work of problem number 1, straight up into the zone on her first try. What a strong start. But expect nothing less from perhaps one of the OG competitors in Singapore. A trailblazer for sure. She started competing in the early 2000s. I think just before 2010, when the competition scene in Singapore was just heating up. She's already in the open category. She was dominating the podiums and doing really well. She's back. She's back, ladies. Y'all better work. And she's doing so well in problem number 1.
And
straight up to the
has
top.
it.
Did you catch that?
My goodness.
Did you catch that? She jumped up, caught the last move with her right hand, but her left toe swung up to stop her in that position as well. Absolutely amazing coordination. Very well done.
Yeah, I must say, you say all that, but Judith makes it look deceivingly simple. Let's take a look right now a little bit at problem 4. I must say that it's probably the only problem here today that has majority of the roots on a slab, right? And that's a piece of wall that is completely 90 degrees up, right?
A slab would actually be reclined, if you will. So it's not vertical, straight vertical, but it's leaning a little bit away from you.
Right. Okay.
So like a small change, like a 5 to 10 degree lean is actually really significant because it allows you pretty much to stand on the wall without the use of your hands. Yeah. Athira, in the meantime, I think she's only the second competitor to make it this far. Up problem 2. Lots of support and friends here for Athira. She's getting really close to the top position as well.
Almost
One
there.
last explosive move. But she was denied. Looks like that last move was a little more challenging than she expected.
And we're going to take a look at Renee making the final approach to the top. Can she do it? She does it.
What a good performance. 2.5 years.
2.5 years?
Yeah, competitive climbing. And she's already doing so well. Amazing. Way to go.
And I believe if I have kept count correctly, that would be Renee's second top of her semi-finals run. She topped Route 1 and Problem 1 as well as Problem 3.
Singy in the meantime on problem 4. I think she's made pretty good progress. Didn't go beyond the zone, but I believe she should have gotten the score for that zone. Right, that's gonna count. It's gonna help boost her up the leaderboard a little bit. A zone is like a bit of a halfway point. It's kind of a 0.5 score, if you will. If the top is 1 point, she's gonna get 0.5 for getting up to the zone. So that's pretty good progress, right? She's got 20 seconds left on the clock, but this would be her last challenge and her last opportunity to get some points. So I think she's going for it. She's just gonna try to see if she can get further up this problem.
Great job done by all of our participants. Group 1, followed by
And it seems like right now on our next rotation, we have Ziyun on 1, Idalin on 2, Lynette on 3, and Kristen attempting her final problem of her semi-finals run.
Friends, supporters, and families of Gravical 2023 Limitless. Welcome to the live stream of day number 3, open category for women, the elite category for women. This is the semi-final rounds that you're watching right now. Top 20 ladies are taking the stage right now to see who are the top 6 performers who will graduate into the grand final rounds tomorrow. Lots of good progress making their way around. Ziyun on problem 1, getting the zone. She is joined by Lynette on problem 3 as well. They both have zones right now, and they're both making progress towards the end. Ziyun getting really close.
And that's it for Lynette, number 3. Just a little bit shy of the top for Ziyun.
Oh, the crowd here really felt that. Really felt that when Ziyun didn't make the top on problem 1. She was so close. She was so close, and what a good attempt as well. I think she nailed most of the moves pretty efficiently. It's only that final position, I think. After all that effort, it might have taken her to get up there. That final move might have just been a little bit more than expected. That's okay. It seems like she's got time to try again. She's probably gonna go for it, right? And I think we hope she's gonna get it this time. Sneaky little knee bar there by Ziyun to get her up into the start. Very clever, very good. Seems like a bit of a hidden beta that only some ladies have discovered. But then again, you know, to each, I believe our ladies are trying to exploit all the strengths that they can. Just like Edie, Ziyun, amazing flexibility there right in the middle from 1. Stretches across to secure her position. Buys a little time to rest and recover. She knows it because this is a heck of a demanding position. She's not just holding on, she's squeezing and pushing her way up. Now she needs to commit to get the full points. Can she do it?
And she does it. You know, she knew the beta. She had the solution. She just needed to collect herself and get herself up onto the top.
Absolutely fantastic. You could almost see the moment she decided to go for it, and it paid off. Christian, in the meantime, this is new ground for her. She is a little nervous. Very good choice here to collect herself. Look at the clock. She was looking at the clock just now to find out she's got like 20 seconds left. 15, in fact, on the clock right now. But she does not want to rush this because that final position
And
right
she
there.
gets it.
Right there, that final position, it's not anything that you can hold on to. It's a thing that you gotta touch, okay? It's a thing that you gotta touch. So if you are not balanced, you're gonna come straight off the wall. Brutal. Brutal, but really good.
Seems like top to bottom, right? Or bottom to top, in fact, every step of the way, right? It's just the root setters are trying to test you to your limits, right? And perhaps that's why the theme of this year's Gravical is limitless. We want to see who can break through and break past all the limits and truly achieve that limitless status.
Spot on. Couldn't have said it better myself. So, challengers coming up on wall number 1, that will be Mui Ling. She's joined by Judith on 2, Athira on 3, looking very comfortable and in her element. Seems like dynamic climbing, something she's very good at. And Renee is on 4. Judith is also on problem 2, but making really quick progress. She's zipped past the section that had given so many ladies problems. She's zipped right past that one into the zone, and now she looks like she's gonna finish this with such control as well. Next level performance by Judith. Very calm. Turns around to say hi to the crowd as well. The legend is back. It's good to see her back on the walls again. Judith Sim. Athira problem 3. She made it pretty far just now, but not quite far enough. But so this time she wants to make sure she gets that securely. Very satisfying to see that. But clearly also she's demonstrated that she's very comfortable with the coordinated dynamic movements. She's done I'd say she's used a beta that's not commonly seen, especially among girls, because many girls, I think they generally prefer to have a larger degree of control over their movements. But Athira, she's very comfortable. She very quickly chained and linked up a couple of movements, one after another, matched her hands to hop over, and she managed to work a swing into that movement, all rather seamlessly and all rather quickly. That, I gotta say, is really impressive. For myself, I don't climb well in that way, and I need a lot of practice with that. And I know a lot of climbers are, like that as well. We don't naturally have that very fast twitch, highly coordinated movements. We need a lot of practice. So the fact that Athira did that so comfortably and so smoothly is worthy of some acknowledgement. Really, very impressive.
And we see Mui Ling on problem 1. Also trying to reach for the top, and she does it. Right, making quick work of problem 1. All eyes live are now on boulder 4 as Renee has 25 more seconds to make her final attempt. Can she make this count? And that is times up for Renee. But you know, she has shown us an incredible display of her skills throughout the 4 problems. And that means that Renee would now rotate out. And the next rotation that we have right now would be Joel Chia on 1. We have Ziyun on 2. We have Edie on 3. And we have Lynette Cole on 4. Over at boulder 4, it seems like Lynette is very close to a breakthrough, and she may just be the next top that we see on boulder 4. I want to just ask you a quick question, Michael, right? When we look at boulder 4, let's play a game of Would You Rather. Would you rather the small pieces that we see, or would you rather the big, what you call that, slopers that we have, right? What do you think is the more merciful pieces of this problem?
Merciful. Okay. Actually, I'd like to ask Chat then. Chat. Hey, if you're here watching the live stream with us, let us know. If you're looking at problem number 4, right? If you're looking at problem number 4, the one of the slab, the one of the little pieces, and the big fiberglass volumes, could you let us know if you prefer 1, you prefer the small pieces, or 2, you prefer the big fiberglass volumes. All right, 1 for small pieces, 2 for big fiberglass volumes.
And while Chat deliberates, we can also celebrate Ziyun making the top on problem 2.
Yeah, nice deserving finish for Ziyun. I think she's worked really hard for that. Likewise, Lynette on problem 4 also. She's worked herself into a bit of a situation. She's there. Now she needs to find a way to get 2 hands onto that finish. Seems like that might not have been the play to get too stretched out into that position. Unlike what Christian did, which Lynette, of course, because she was not allowed to look at the way she climbed, Christian was balanced fully on the previous handhold, and she was able to lean over just enough to touch the ending handholds. So Lynette is going to have to figure something else out differently within the time limit she has left. And Edie too on problem 3. I think this is going to be a bit of a tough challenge for her. She does not like dynamic climbs. And I think for most of the time, she was trying to avoid having to do the dynamic climbs. But she's got no choice now, no options left. So she's going to go for it. But actually, you know what? She's not doing bad at all with this move. She's not doing it badly at all. So now that she's got it, if she's careful, I am pretty sure she will be able to finish this climb. These kind of movements are well within her skill range.
One final reach.
Just one last move remains.
And she does it. Talk about, making your pet style, right? Taking that, taking that to your advantage and challenging that with the style of the route.
Absolutely. So, this is the. I think this is the. When you asked about the challenge, right?
Uh-huh.
The challenge that route setters were setting out for our ladies. I think this is one of the key dynamics behind the interaction between route setters, and the climbers on the wall.
Okay.
Right. So everybody has kind of their preferred style because we're each different climbers, right? Some of us are taller, some of us are stronger in certain ways, some of us like to climb in certain ways, some of us are flexible. And we tend to favor using those traits quite a lot.
Okay.
Right? If you're tall, you're going to try to reach everything you can. If you feel confident with your fingers, you're going to try to grip everything you can. But not all challenges will allow you to exploit that. Or, as some climbers might say, it's your anti-style. It's something that's completely out of your comfort zone.
Okay.
Right? And so if you look across the field right now, problems 1, 2, 3, and 4. Problems 2 and 3 have dynamic movements, but they're completely different styles, right? Problem 2, you got to jump. It's what we call an all points off, or a full dyno.
Okay.
You jump, you leave the wall almost completely, and you catch something at the end of it. Problem 3 is more of a modern style, lateral, coordinated dynamic movement, where it's much less about jumping and more about linking up a couple of key actions accurately, so that you can move across a big distance.
Okay.
Right? It kind of sounds like the same thing, but it's not. Typically, sidewards jumps are a little bit smaller, but also they are harder to coordinate because it's kind of against our more natural patterns of movements, which is jumping up or jumping forward, right?
Yeah, and it's definitely a lot harder to control as well.
Totally. Absolutely harder to control. So problem number 1 just saw its finish by Jeanette Ko. That is incidentally Lynette's sister. And Judith as well. Double celebration there on problems number 3. She's smiling to herself a bit because the coordinated sideways jump is notoriously difficult to get on the first try. And I think she would actually prefer not to do those kind of movements. Right. So the route setting team has kind of put in a lot of effort to try to challenge our climbers, right, in a variety of ways, but intentionally, perhaps in ways that are against what would be normally considered comfortable, right? Many ladies are way more flexible than guys, for example. So instead of allowing them to kind of flex their way across, if you will, they require the ladies to use their flexibility, but do a little bit more with that. Right, and instead of forcing the ladies to climb like guys, have really powerful and big movements, they require now the ladies to do it under much more controlled circumstances. Ergo, problem 1, right? Or problem 2, they require the ladies to move well on a challenging terrain, even though the movements are not incredibly far apart, right? Our ladies still kind of need to balance both skill sets now.
Right.
And that I think is where it's at for our ladies, if they know they're really good at one way of climbing and they can master a different style, they're quite likely going to be able to outperform many of their peers.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's not just as simple as flexibility, but I'm sure their adaptability is put to test as well, right? How well can they adapt their styles? How well can they adapt to the styles that the root setters have intended for? All I can say
100%.
is if this is the standard that we're looking at for semis, I can't wait to see what finals would look like.
Absolutely. I think it's gonna be there's gonna be fireworks tomorrow for sure. There's gonna be fireworks. It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna be a whole new level. And I think we're gonna be in for a treat.
And Athira celebrates a nice controlled finish over at problem 4, and that also marks the end of Athira's semi-finals run.
Yeah, what a nice way to finish. I think Athira actually did quite well. She finished quite a few of the problems, and I think that's put her ahead on the field. This round seems a little tough. It seems like maybe the top competitors would only have finished 3 problems. But of course, you know, if our ladies finish at 4, I think they are definitely coming back tomorrow for the grand finals. Let's see how our next competitor does.
That's right, and for those of you tuning in on our YouTube live stream, we have been here since Thursday, and today is day 3 of SMU Gravical, proudly organized and brought to you by the SMU Office of Student Life as well as the SMU Climb team. What you're watching right now is the Open Women Semi-Finals, where the top 20 women in this category are competing for a top 6 slots in finals happening tomorrow.
Shihui on problem number 1. Very dynamic, but quite comfortable with this style of climbing, clearly. Flashes it. I believe that was her first try. Worked a bit hard for it. You can't see it on camera, but she came off the wall. She was just grabbing part of her arm and back. Is like grimacing a little bit. I think that took a little bit of effort, even though it was a flash. But still, good effort. Good effort from Shihui. Very nice finish. Also by Ziyun on problem 3. She's doing quite well. I think she has a good chance to qualify for finals. We're going to wish her all the best in her next problems. Edie now on problem 4. Clearly very much in her element.
Yep.
She cruised up that problem without much hesitation. I think that might even have been her first try. That would be a flash.
And all eyes are now on climber number 7, Joelle, on problem 2, where she's also completed her route, and the crowd just erupted into an applause over here. And for a moment, for the next 2 minutes, we're gonna be appreciating the wall, proudly designed by Mr. Ivan To. You can see his little signature over at the bottom right corner.
Yeah, for sure. Mr. Ivan To, legendary wall builder, arguably the most popular wall builder in Singapore. Everybody knows him. You know, if you need a climbing wall to be built anywhere, I think he would be the go-to person. He is also my favorite classic Chinese Taoge, if you will. Right? He's got that Chinese contractor look and think vibe going for him, right? But in the best possible way, you know. He's a little gruff, but once you get to know him, he's actually a really nice guy.
I'm sure.
If you ever worked with him, and I have several times, he really takes care of you, but in the nice boss man kind of way, you know. He'll ask how you're doing. He'll ask you if you've taken a break. He will work you hard, but he'll make sure you get your rest. He'll buy drinks for you and make sure you're taken care of, and that kind of way, right? So I think anybody who's worked with Ivan for some time, they really grow to trust and appreciate his way of doing things, and his experience really speaks for himself. This is maybe by far every year, actually every competition, the walls he builds for the events, they get. They push the limit as well. We're not just pushing the limit for climbers, but he tries his best to push the limit for the walls as well. He's building bigger, better, and faster than anyone we know in Singapore, right? So as far as like climbing events is concerned, He proposes good wall designs. This wall was designed by him, proposed to
Exactly.
the SMU climb team, I believe. And you know, he's really brought like a whole new level, like a World Cup level of climbing, as far as the walls and facilities are concerned for all of us. It's a true treat, and something that I think we really need to appreciate as climbers, right? Because a lot of effort goes into this, but a lot of it is unseen.
Exactly, and talking about unseen, right? Beyond the technicalities of the wall, I just want to highlight, you know, some of the more little subtleties that we might see, right? Visually, you can see that the shapes and the shapes that have been painted makes the wall looks like it's a mountainous background, and it gives that feeling that our climbers are climbing mountains, scaling new heights, right? Truly trying to attain that limitless achievement, right? So you know, it's just a very beautiful wall. Thank you once again to Ivan as we welcome our next rotation. Who do we have, Michael?
We've got Trisha up on problem number 1. Trisha Tom. She's joined by Jeanette on problem 2, Mui Ling on problems 3, and Judith on her last challenge for today. That's problem 4, the very technical slab climb. Jeanette, in the meantime, problem number 2, looking pretty good, making good progress. She's steadily hiking up towards the top. Trisha looking good in problem 1. She had a bit of a false start just now. The judges asked her to restart her climb, but she's back on again and she's doing quite well. So you see Trisha kind of trying to figure out what to do with that big overhanging undercling volume on the wall right there. That's testament to the fact that space there is not easy to negotiate. You have something to grip onto, to hold onto, but it's hard to grip onto.
Yep.
You need to hold onto it, pretty much using your entire body. You need to kind of stand up into that and push your hands into it in order to hold that position. Very demanding indeed. If you commit too much into that position almost, you're going to actually lock yourself in place.
Exactly.
And then you cannot move off from that point. So it's really precarious. Not enough tension, you fall off. Too much tension, and then you can't move. Chat, welcome to day number 3 of the live stream coverage. Please help us to share this link with your friends. Share it with people you know who might be interested in climbing, or if you've always got a family member who's been asking you what's this rock climbing business about, share that with them. Invite them to come along, join us on this journey as we witness our ladies do their best and tear down these challenges one at a time.
And we see Trisha back at it, trying to work her way up, and we shall see if anything develops from that massive undercling volume that we were talking about, right? Where Trisha fell earlier, and we can see she's trying to work out the problem differently. There we go. That's the balance that we're talking about. She moves on, successfully negotiates it. Just shy of the top. The crowd here definitely felt that, and I'm sure Trisha felt it as well.
Jeanette on problem 2. Finally making the progress she's been looking for, but she's got less than 1 minute left. Up into the final position. Gets the sweet, sweet reward. The top. She's finally done it. But now wall 3 and 4, as if by some coordination, our ladies have broken through into the last sections. Both of them.
Mui Ling on 3, making her final approach. And she does it. It's really like they coordinated it. They broke through together, they topped together, and right now they're just gonna take a break together. And of course for Judith, that's the end of her semi-finals run, right? And we're gonna take a look at the results later on, just to see if she makes it to our finals.
Yeah, fingers crossed, of course. Friends and supporters for Judith. I think everybody's watching with bated breath about whether she can come back for the grand finals tomorrow. Chat, hey, I want to ask you, who, so far, we're more than halfway through the roster. I want to know, who do you want to come back tomorrow? Who do you think is coming back tomorrow?
We're now introducing the next rotation. We have Natalie on problem 1. Chat, ask and you shall receive. Someone asked to show Shi Hui more on stream. So we have Shi Hui now on 2, Joelle on 3, and her final challenge for today, we have Ziyun on 4. One other thing I must say that most folks may not appreciate is that this 20 women that we see today, they just had their qualifiers early this morning, right? Which means that beyond the problem being physically demanding, this whole day has been physically demanding.
Yeah, that's very impressive. That means that the likes of some of these flashing problems now is testament to just how much strength and endurance they have, and how much they're persevering despite how tired they must be. Shu Hui got the finish on 2. Joelle got the finish on 3. Very impressive, right? Both of them looking very comfortable in their element almost with these styles of challenges. No stranger to the game. We are looking forward to see them in problem 4.
And all eyes right now are on problems 1 and 4 as we see and wait with bated breath, right, to see if any of our climbers here, Ziyun and Natalie, whether they can make a breakthrough.
Natalie go on problem 1 with a new, unusual beta. I don't think we've seen anyone try that yet. But clearly, she's demonstrating the fact that she's very comfortable with dynamic movements. She did a quick 1-2 catch with the left hand, followed by the quick right hand up on the first movements. I don't believe that was absolutely necessary, but maybe that works very well for her. She also did a bump with the left hand from the hold from before the zone up into the zone. So maybe this could bode well for her for problems 3 and 2. We shall see. She's just entering the field right now. She's doing her first challenge right now, so there's still plenty of time for her to put those skills to good use.
And we're now joining Ziyun on 4, where she falls just as she got hold of the zone, right? I think she's just learning, iterating on the beta that she has, and I'm sure, right, within the next 50 seconds, right, she could come up with something and make the attempt count.
Clock is winding down, but she's still going for it. Ziyun, persevering, very resilient, right? No stopping it until the clock is over, until the clock is truly over. She's gonna try to press her way up into that final position right now. I think she did it earlier, but not quite enough to see her into that final position. Valiant attempt, valiant attempt. Let's hope she's got the score she needed to get into the final rounds.
All right, and next up, we're gonna switch up the rotation once again. We have Hanisa Chan on 1, we have Trisha on 2, Jeanette on 3, and we have Mui Ling on her final challenge for today. And if you're just joining us here today on stream, we are at the Open Women Semi-Finals, and the format that we're adopting for the competition this evening is a rotation format. What that means is that each climbers have 5 minutes to attempt the problem that they are facing with, right? 5 minutes is the first time they would see the problem. It's the first time that they have to come up with a beta. Go for it, and right after the 5 minutes, they go for a 5-minute break, and they continuously rotate until all the climbers have attempted all the problems.
Right, newcomer Farah on problem number 1, doing very well. This is her first attempt, I believe. Already getting very close to the end. Jeanette, in the meantime, making waves. Problem 3. What a good effort. What a good effort. I think the score is going to make a big difference for her in the finals. To qualify for the finals. Farah right up to the last crucial move. I believe that last handhold, if you can see it on the live stream, it looks like a pretty good hold, but it's actually not. It's a good enough hold if you put it on a vertical wall, something that's 90 degrees, but on this overhang, it's gone from reasonable to being a slopey dimple.
And just downright demanding.
Right, so yeah, it's got to be very demanding. You gotta hit it at the right angle. And you got to make sure that in order to hold on to it, you're not able to... Most climbers would not be able to pinch that particular hold. They would not be able to use your thumb to grip onto anything reliably. So when the hand goes on there, they're going to have to focus on pressing their hand down in order to secure that position. Very, very demanding, bearing in mind that the previous handhold is also a sloping dimple. So that last move is going to gatekeep a couple of climbers who are not careful or who are a little too powerful for their own good in that final phase of movement. So we shall see. We shall see. Farah's taking a chance to size up that problem again, while Mui Ling is working hard on her final climb for today. Let's hope she can finish it. She's got off to a good start so far. By the way, 131 people are watching this stream right now. Welcome. Welcome to SMU Gravical 2023. We are limitless, and today we are pushing day number 3 for the Open Women's category semi-final rounds. We are, I'd say, about 75% into this detail right now. The final names on this roster, they are the best performing female athletes we have in this category. I'm going to see who the top 6 are.
And I'm gonna stop you right there just to celebrate that nice finish on 4 by Mui Ling, right? And just like we've said, right, there's literally nothing to hold on to, right? You have to steady yourself, right? It's just a little black dot right there, and you have to slowly reach over while keeping steady before you can complete your climb, right? So, even at the very end, right at the last problem, the last piece of the last problem, we are still demanding of the very best from the climbers.
One more rotation up now on problem number 1. Vanessa Ting. Vanessa Ting. She's fast becoming one of the prominent local climbers. If she's not already so, she was a regular feature in many of the local competitions. She's back now, back in full force. Regular competitions again. She's up on problem number 1. She's joined by Natalie on 2, Shi Hui on 3, already cruising her way up to the end. And Joelle on problem number 4. Shi Hui confidently and comfortably one-handed finish.
Does that make 3 flashes for Shi Hui?
That could be. That could be 3 for her. She is in her element, I tell you. Very comfortable indeed, making it look easy almost. Vanessa, in the meantime, no stranger to the overhang. Takes it in the bag. Vanessa on 1. Natalie still on problem 2, and Joelle on problem 4.
I think this is where we also see the time management aspect of it, right? Like, these climbers are probably tired from past climbs, and in fact their qualifiers were just this morning, right? So you don't want to just keep running at your wall, like literally running into the wall, wasting your attempts, right?
For sure.
Because your goal is to make as many tops in as little attempts as possible to secure yourself a top 6 spots for our finals happening tomorrow.
Completely true. Completely true. Strategy is actually a big part of the competitive climbing scene. If you don't have a plan, you're gonna run up into some nasty trouble, right? You spend too much energy on the first climbs, run out of skin, run out of juice by the time you reach the second or third problem, and you're done. Your day is over. That's absolutely the last thing our competitors want. So our ladies are being very careful indeed. But they are at the same time pressured by the fact that they only have 5 minutes per problem, 5 minutes of time to try to complete each problem. So bear in mind, nobody's had additional time before this to view, to preview, to prepare for these problems. So that's asking them to do a lot of things within just a small window of 5 minutes. So chat, we've been here for quite a while watching the climbers go. I think Joelle is on her last try, and Natalie is on problem 2. They're the only 2 climbers left on this in this part of the event. Any friends and supporters for Natalie and Joelle in chat? Say hi. Hi, chat. What a close call. She looked so ready to finish that climb problem 2.
So Michael,
Natalie.
Michael, for those of us that may not be as familiar, right, can you talk us through why, even though Natalie had both hands on the final piece, it would not count as a completion?
That's a very good observation. The rules for bouldering require our climbers to hold on to any handhold securely to demonstrate a secure, controlled holding of that particular point to get the points from there. So that includes the start, the middle, and the end, the zone and the top. Right, so a guideline that most competitors have been given is that they need to hold that ending handhold or the ending piece for at least 2 seconds in order to earn that finish. So that would enable a fair and clear finish, and we would not have climbers who simply jump and swipe at the final positions and in an attempt to get the points. But this will ensure that all climbers who finish the climbs have earned it and have done so
reliably.
Reliably and in a fair way.
Convincingly as well.
Absolutely.
And right now, we are welcoming onto the wall our second runner-up from the qualifiers, and that is Nacha. And she is actually a international climber hailing from Thailand. And she brings with us 6 years. She brings with her 6 years of climbing experience. So we're gonna see what that looks like on the wall. Together with Nacha, we have Farah on 2, Trisha on 3, and Jeanette on her final problem. Right, I'm sure by now, right, it's been very physically demanding, very mentally demanding as well, right? To have that perseverance, to solve the problems as you go, to iterate and learn from the problems, all while dealing with a very fatigued body by this point in time. So it definitely is no easy feat. We see on 3 and 4, both climbers almost coordinating their pace of the climb right now. Let's see if we can get another coordinated finish. Jeanette finishes, and all eyes are on Trisha as she makes the final transition. Another coordinated finish on 3 and 4. Just absolutely stunning.
Stunning is right. I'm not sure if you caught that, but Trisha actually jumped very quickly. Left hand followed by right hand into that final position is a big gamble. It's a big gamble considering she's right at the top of the climb. If she does not catch that, she does not get the points. Just like Nacha on problem 1, she went for the last handhold a little conservatively. She didn't dare to go too quickly or with too much force, and that seemed to pay off for her. Trisha as well, I think she made a judgment call. It's a little bit of a gamble. Looks pretty good. The ending handhold looks pretty good. I'll go for it. So really exciting stuff, especially in the details. For climbers, if you have spotted it, if you can see it, throw it up in chat. So, you know, if we have any viewers who are new to the world of bouldering, who are watching this bouldering competition for the first time, we can help them along. Help them appreciate all the little things that make our palms sweat, right? Share the love. All 134 viewers today, share the love. And yeah, maybe we'll get them hooked and we'll see them at the next event.
A minute 30, just a little bit under a minute 30 seconds left for Farah, our climber on 2. Looks like she is sizing up the wall while she makes probably one of her final few attempts on this problem.
Nice and strong attempt by Farah on problem 2. Clearly, it's taking a bit of a toll on her. I gotta say, this is a very physically demanding problem, and she's had to put in quite a bit of effort from the jump to this next move. You've seen many climbers try this. Make a figure 4 where you tuck your knee and you hook a leg over an arm. So you're actually using your leg to pull yourself up by using your arm as like a bit of a platform to help pull yourself up. Incredibly intense on the hand, on the left hand in this case, that's holding on to that handhold. Mind you, that is not like a easy jug to hold on to. I've seen it. It's got some space for your fingers, but that's about it. It's not like a huge jug that you can easily hang off on. So the fact that she does it is crazy.
Crazy indeed. And speaking of which, we will now introduce our new rotation. We have Li Ting, our runner-up from the qualifiers this morning, and she is attempting problem 1 right now. She is followed by Vanessa on 2, Natalie on 3, and we see Shi Hui on 4. Right, all eyes are on Shi Hui as we look to see if she manages to flash all 4 routes in today's semi-finals.
Very intense final position. Vanessa gets the top on problem 2, but Shi Hui as well. You can see her working so hard right now. Just press her way up into that final position. Look at that. Literal fingertips on that final problem. I think, despite how much effort it took her, I think Shi Hui did pretty well. I think we are quite likely to see her back into the final rounds. What do you think?
I think so too. I think so. But I must say, we still have, let's see, about 8 or 9 competitors trying to complete the rest of their semi-finals run. I want to say it could go anywhere, but I think with such a strong showing by Shi Hui, she's a shoo-in for tomorrow.
I'm pretty sure she'll come back too, because I think she flashed many of the challenges today, if not all. Hot on her heels though. We have many other up and coming strong young climbers as well, like Natalie right now on problem 3. She nailed the dynamic coordinated sideways jump in a quick try or 2, and she finished as well even after I think after 1 or 2 tries. So lots of intense competition coming up for our climbers. So I think tomorrow it's about to get spicy.
It's about to get spicy because once again, we're going to be staring at a blank wall for 2.5 minutes, which is why I think when it comes down to these final few climbers, right, people that qualified at the top of the table from qualifiers, it really could be. It could go anywhere, right? Top 6, it's still wide open.
For sure. I think already the top, let's say the top 10 ladies on this roster, they're all very strong climbers in their own right. Many of them are also seasoned competitors, so this is not their first rodeo. They're going to be bringing a lot of good advantages, personal advantages, and climbing skills to bear in this event. So it's quite likely that the top 6 positions are going to go only to the climbers who have flashed maybe all of these problems. Maybe they could afford a mistake or 2 at most, right? It seems like that's going to be the criteria that sets apart the finalists from the ladies who are going to watch it on live stream tomorrow.
Exactly, and that's definitely the standard that we're looking at, because just a callback to our leaderboard for the semis, we do remember that the top 3 climbers, right, Glenna, Li Ting, and Nacha, they actually qualified all 5 tops with just 5 attempts, right? So in fact, I actually made a boo-boo earlier, right? Li Ting and Nacha are actually not runner-up and second runner-up. It's a 3-way tie for top qualifiers.
Yeah, that's right. The ladies, the top ladies, flashed all 5 problems. So it's going to be, right now I think it's going to be anyone's game. It's a bit of an interesting situation we have for the ladies too. They have to do well in the semi-final rounds, but they don't want to burn themselves out too quickly. So they want to go hard, but maybe they don't want to do like 100%. But as far as this field is concerned, it looks like they're going to have to put in some effort today, because if they don't, somebody else is going to take their place. So I think by tomorrow, all ladies are going to have their work cut out for them. They're going to be a little bit tired, but I hope today's round of competitions, I hope the problems inspire them a little bit, help them feel good about themselves, so they come back tomorrow ready to throw down one more time.
Yeah.
Right, because we all want to see that. We know what they're capable of. We all want to see them do well.
That's right. And speaking of throwdown, we will now invite the final contestant, Glenna, right? We're inviting her to the arena, right, for her to go at it at Route 1. We have Natcha on 2, Farah on 3, and Trisha doing her final attempt to cap off her semi-finals run this evening.
Very impressive moves there by Nacha on problem 2. She's only one of a handful of ladies who managed to nail that move, that sidewards reach with the right hand into that shoulder Gaston. Very physically demanding. Very impressive that she pulled that off on the first try with barely 30 seconds on the clock. Glenna as well joining her to tear down these problems one at a time. Very impressive, very impressive. I think Nacha is ready for a show tomorrow. Oh boy, we're gonna see. Hey, I just saw in the chat, Rudy just came on. Sorry to interrupt. We're in
No worries.
long time climber, old school climber. Anybody, if anybody knows who he is, Rudy's back in the chat. Hello, Rudy. I think he joined us a couple of last year as well on the live stream, and I think on the other live streams in the other events as well. I remember seeing his name there. Welcome back, brother. It's good to have you on. Fighting is the right word today for our ladies. They are working really hard for it, but I think they're getting the results they wanted. Nice job there by Farah on problem 3. Little payoff.
And just like that, we are all eyes on 4 as Trisha makes her final, meets her final challenge, right? And we're gonna wish her all the best and hopes that she makes a breakthrough, dealing with the big and small pieces, right? Very contrasting as she climbs her way to the top.
Trisha now, final seconds on the clock. Just doing her best. You know she's trying. She's already gotten the zone, but you know she wants that top. Unfortunately, she's out of time right now, so Trisha's got to come off the walls. As we move on, Li Ting now takes on problem 2. Vanessa's on 3 now, and Natalie on 4.
That's right, and if you're wondering why no one else is attempting boulder 1, that's because we are competing in a rotation format this evening, and that means each climber has 5 minutes to attempt the route, the problem, and they have 5 minutes to rest right after, right? And we're going to rotate right now, and this also means now that we've seen a empty boulder 1, we are towards the very tail end of the Open Women's semifinals this evening, and we are also going to be seeing a very empty route 2 as Li Ting finishes and reaches the top on route 2.
Yeah, beautiful performance there by Li Ting, including, for those of us who have been watching, did you catch her legendary heel hook? She snuck that in on the right hand as she was going up through the first crux from the 2 little jugs after jumping, reaching out to the right shoulder press. She threw in her legendary heel hook that helped to secure that move. Vanessa, in the meantime, problem number 3, looking very comfortable in her element. She's, I can tell, she's hardly sweating in this event. Everything seems to be just about above warm-up level for her. I think she's ready. Dude, I think she's ready to shake the scene up. I think she's ready to put a stake in the ground for a place on the podium. Not that she's so intensely competitive for climbers who have been around and hung out, been friends with her. You know that she's not competitive like that. But you know she is very serious about the sport as well. She loves climbing and she loves doing her best, and you can see it in the way she moves. Final competitor on the wall now, Natalie, on problem 4. I think she's the only climber still going at her challenge right now. A lot of focus, but a lot of pressure as well. This is her last chance to get some points to hopefully get her into that final top 6. She's done pretty well so far, but she's got to make this count, secure the top if she can. By any means necessary, dynamic, static, a lot of control, or a lot of dynamic. She's got to get that if she wants to stand a better chance to get into the finals, because this field today is really, really strong. That was Natalie on problem 4. Looking and probably feeling a little defeated. She was hoping for some better results, I'm sure. But that last challenge not to be underestimated. She's decided to bow out for now. Uh, we'll see. We'll see what the final results bring. Fingers crossed. We'll get to see her tomorrow. She might get a chance at redemption. In the meantime, final challenge for Farah up on problem 4. She's joined by Nacha on problem 3 and Glenna on problem 2. Nacha's got a very cute chalk bag on her right now. It's a pink little monster. They are not from one of the event partners, but if you're interested to spruce up your chalk bag and get something completely unique, truly unique, you can look up our friends from Isaac Thread. That's ISAAC Thread, as in thread and needle, right? Because they produce and completely customizable chalk buckets, chalk bags, pouches, and more. 100% handmade and made in Singapore. So visit their Instagram page if you're interested to find out more. That's isaac.thread, ISAAC.THREAD. And yeah, check out their link in the bio.
And that was just about enough time for Glenna to make it all the way to the top of problem 2, as well as Nacha making her way up to the top of problem 3, along with her very cute chalk bag that we see. Right. Once again, we are looking at problem 4 with Farah going at it, and let's hope she makes a breakthrough over here.
I'm not sure if it's just me, but I swear I heard like a scraping sound when Farah fell off the wall just now.
I did.
That's got to be one of my greatest fears when climbing slab walls. I hate slab walls because I always feel like I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna fall face first, and it comes sliding down, and there's gonna be like a cheese grater, and then there'll be a trail of blood, and I would have no face and no digits left after that.
Ooh, I think when we say blood, sweat, tears, that's not literal, right?
Yeah,
we don't want to literally
sure.
see some blood on the walls here.
With the slab walls, I think that would be quite literal. I hate slab walls, and I'm not gonna speculate on the difficulty of problem number 4 because I as far as I'm concerned, that is going to be the most difficult climb in this entire circuit for sure. Final seconds for Farah. Clearly a bit tired from the effort, but still fighting all the way to the end. Very impressive. I respect that spirit. I think that's something to be celebrated in all our climbers. An act of defiance against the inevitable creep of gravity. Resistance to the very end. I love it. That's why we love climbing, and that's what this whole pursuit is about. Vanessa and Li Ting now, problems number 4 and 3. Last climb for Vanessa. Last problem for her. But Li Ting, second last. Up against what would have been her anti-style a few years ago.
Okay.
But ever since Li Ting went from being a very highly controlled, very static climber, she would never jump for anything. She hates dynos. But in the recent years, she's put in a lot of effort to train and to practice that, right? And clearly, if you can watch her now on problem 3, she's become way more comfortable in this style of climbing. Big props for her effort. Very uncomfortable for her, I'm sure. And she would tell you that too. She still does not like dynamic moves, but she's way better at it now, as you can see.
I know. You may say that she hates climbing, she hates jumping, but for sure right now she's jumping for joy, right? After that beautiful top and finish on
Absolutely
3.
wonderful. Vanessa also with a double top on problem 4. Not much of a struggle for her, it seems, on that problem. Physically, I think Vanessa is in really good form right now. She can pull, she can push, she can balance. She has a good command of her movements, and her body positioning control is fantastic. So in many of the climbs that require our ladies to twist and turn into hold difficult positions, she's able to meet head on and overcome. So that's really impressive, and I think she's going to be a very formidable climber. I believe she's actually right now coaching in and around Singapore as well. I'm not sure of the details, but I'm pretty sure she has a lot. She will have a lot to offer any ladies who are looking to, improve themselves in the field of climbing, particularly in the competitive aspects of the sport.
Right.
Yeah.
She has much wisdom, and she's ready to impart them to those who are willing and ready to learn.
For sure. Much wisdom is indeed very rare, because even though Singapore has interestingly, Singapore has a pretty balanced gender ratio as far as climbing is concerned.
Okay.
Like in many countries, you have a predominantly male climbing. I wouldn't say industry, but just the climbing market, if you will.
Right.
Right. You have largely many more men than women who climb. Singapore has actually a pretty balanced ratio of men to women. So you have just about as many boys and girls climbing. And that being said, though, I think there's a lot of interest from girls, even if they're not super vocal about it, for ladies to want to do better in competitions, want to better themselves, and want to do better in this sport. But because of the way climbing started, it's a little more conventional, a little more traditional. I don't think we have that many ladies who are able to offer their experiences and coaching.
Right.
But that was that era. I think Vanessa and Judith and Li Ting, they're gonna and Glenna especially, they're gonna herald a new wave, and Glenna's definitely the new wave of young climbers who are going to change the scene pretty much forever.
Right. And we are looking at a empty wall, but just for slightly more than a minute more to go, because we are down to our final 3 climbers. We're waiting for them to complete their rotations, right? And once again, in case you missed the leaderboard earlier, the final 3 climbers that we have, and that's Glenna, Li Ting, and Natcha, right? They actually essentially scored full marks during the Open Women qualifiers, right? They flashed all 5 of their problems earlier in the day, and it's the same day, it's the same evening, and they are here again. And I would say they have been putting up a great performance, right? Exceptional performance. It's just a treat for everyone that's here watching.
Yeah, totally. Like a bit of a textbook answer, right? 10-year series answer. Speaking of, hey chat, I'm curious. Anybody still in school right now? is the 10-year series still a thing? Full disclaimer, I am
You are a 10-year series yourself.
no, oh gosh, I am what do you call it? I am a very old, I'm an aged millennial. that should give you an idea of how old I am. I'm an aged millennial, and 10-year series were things in my era. They're basically like a collection of test samples from 10 years ago, and we used to practice on them in an attempt to prepare for our final exams, because they give us a clue of what kind of questions will be asked and how we can answer them. I don't know if the same thing's still being done today. I'm not in school anymore, thankfully. I managed to graduate, thank God. And I don't want to go back to school. so chat, help me out. Is a 10-year series still a thing? Are y'all still going for tuition after school on the weekends? Yeah. What's going on? What's going on as far as the exams and tests are concerned? Are y'all just going into YOLO now, like just whatever? Is it AI generated questions?
I think YOLO is a very millennial slang right now. I believe
I just gave away my age.
The term that goes nowadays is slay.
I'll just go. Okay.
And I may not even be using it right myself, because I'm a not so aged millennial, so I'm not that far off from you, Michael.
Yeah, I'm way. I'm very far away from the Zoomers.
Okay,
so
who needs textbook answers when we have real life application? Just watch Natcha as she clears the fourth problem, I would say with ease, and she's now done with her semi-finals run.
Excellent. What a nice finish for her too. She came on, quietly crushed problem after problem, and now she's also leaving in really good spirits too. She just walked past Li Ting, give her a little fist bump, wish her good luck. That's the nice thing we like to see, right? Ladies are competing in that they're joining a competition, but they're not, competing against each other in a nasty way. And that's such a refreshing thing to see, right? This sport is competitive without being antagonistic. Love to see it.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that I find most welcoming about the climb community, right? Everyone is so ready to teach, so ready to share, and it's generally, even in a competition like this, I can feel the collaborative spirit in the air. And it's a very nice atmosphere to just soak yourself in.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think this is one of the things that makes climbing unique, and I hope we never lose that as a community. We might joke about haha, you suck, get good, but we as a community, I think we should work hard to keep it where it is, as jokes, right, and as inside jokes with friends. All right, speaking of jokes, Glenna, no joke totally. She decided not to do the conventional dynamic movements in that jump. She even jumped from the second to the third hold in an incredible clutch dyno, finally securing the top. I hope this is an interesting lesson for her, that she is, in your words, chat, she is built different, and that her beta may be unconventional, but as long as it works, more power to her, and she should try to exploit the heck out of it. We hope to see her flash things like climbs like this more often in the future, and just demolish the problems with more dynamic climbing as we go.
Just a little bit under a minute before we see Li Ting head up problem 4, the final problem for her of the evening, of the night rather, and very shortly after that, Glenna would also be attempting the final problem, and that would then cap off our Open Women's semis today. Just a refresher in case you've just joined us, we've been climbing, the Open Women have been climbing since about 5:30, right? And that is the top 20 that qualified from our qualifiers this morning. And these ladies, they have been climbing in a rotation format for the last 3 hours, and they are climbing their way to secure a spot in the top 6 for the Open finals happening tomorrow. It will also be on stream, but this event is open to public. So if you wanna catch it in person, right, make your way down to the SMU School of Law as well. And that whistle means that we have right now Li Ting facing her final challenge for the night, and that is none other than Route 4, Problem 4.
Nice start for Li Ting, and again another legendary Li Ting heel hook. Look at her go. Straight through the zone, right up into the final position. Now she's going on the path that Judith used as well initially, but she found that to be unsustainable because that last handhold simply cannot be held. But Li Ting seems to have found another way. Oh my goodness.
I think that's the first time this whole event that we've seen someone push against that final piece, right? That seemingly unholdable, untouchable final piece. She manages to push against it, you know, control herself, and then slowly reaches over to secure that finish.
Absolutely crazy, that move. Absolutely crazy. It's so demanding on the shoulders, and she's just so trusting of her hands that she will not slip, because that last piece, I'll tell you this much, that last piece does not have an edge anywhere for anyone to hold on to. So the fact that she's pushing herself up, it's a unique approach to it, because most climbers have chosen either to balance and then reach over, or lean against that final fiberglass hold and reach over again to just touch that final handhold. But Li Ting initially started from a position of disadvantage, mind you. She went up the same way Judith did, kind of got caught with the right arm extended in an unfavorable position. But crazy how strong she is. She fought and she pushed her way to revert into a better, to put her body in a better position so that she can match her hands. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I can't wait to see her take on the final challenge tomorrow. I think some of that legendary fighting spirit is gonna be on display again, and I want to see it. I want to see it tomorrow.
It seems like we are, you know, slowly building up to some sort of a clash of the titans tomorrow. Is that right, Michael?
Oh, for sure, for sure. Tomorrow, in fact, like Clash of the Titans, it's not just going to be the women that are going to come up to the scene. The men as well are going to come up. And they're going to take on the challenges in a format that's known as the IFSC concurrent format. So we're going to tell you more about that tomorrow. It's all going to make sense when you see the event. But the ladies and the men, right, they're going to come out. The competitors are going to come out in a pair. One male, one female competitor. And they'll take on the challenges, and then the next pair will come out, right? So tomorrow evening, we are looking at about 4:30. 4:30, the open category finals, the elite, right? The big guns, they're gonna come out to SMU Gravical 2023 again, and yeah, you are invited. You are very much invited. In fact, if you are available, come down to the event venue at the SMU School of Law to join us.
That's right.
We are where the old Timber used to be, Timber Substation, if you're familiar with that. Again, aged millennial reference. I don't think anybody here might know the Timber Substation, but it was a place to hang out back in my day when they didn't have the internet on the phone. Yeah, that's where we go to hang out. And nice music. I love the pizzas.
Yeah. Duck pizza. You gotta order
not just
duck pizza.
Not just duck pizza, but you can get a pizza with half and half.
Yes, half and half.
Half and half.
Half and
So
half.
if you have somebody who's annoying and doesn't want to eat the same delicious things that you eat, then they can be disgusting and order something else on their half, like Hawaiian or something with pizza with pineapple. And it's so whatever. Right, but Timber, this is where the old Timber used to be, where it's now the SMU School of Law. Big, beautiful building. You can't miss it.
That's right. And
You see the Gravical banners outside as well. So you just go straight in. Join us there. Just a little treat to get you guys on board as well. If you join us there tomorrow, you're gonna get free drinks.
that's right.
From sponsored by, of course, the official hydration partner for Gravical 2023, 100 Plus, and Ice Mountain. Brought to you, of course, by FNN.
That's right. And speaking of Timber, it looks like it's going down over at problem 4. Right, Glenna is attempting the final problem, and she's also the final contestant for tonight. And just an additional bonus, if you are watching this right now and you're from SMU, for tomorrow's open finals for both men and women, we will be treated to a sort of opening hurrah by SMU Sambal Masala as well. So it's definitely something you don't want to miss out. Yeah, we'll see you soon. We'll see you there.
Then ran into some footwork problems in the middle of the climb, but I think she's recovered sufficiently, found her way up. What an interesting stumble. It's actually led her to take the middle path, the balance, the path of least resistance, and I think it's worked out beautifully for her. She managed to flash that problem after a bit of a rocky start. What a lovely conclusion. What a satisfying conclusion. Well done, ladies. Absolutely amazing display of climbing prowess, strength, and perseverance, of course.
For
and,
sure.
Yeah, and we are back. You know what? Speaking of ladies, don't go away just yet. Stream. We are going to be.
We're going to be speaking to some of our contestants.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And in fact, you're going to hear from them directly. Okay, we're going to try to interview a couple of these contestants, these ladies, to find out what they think about today's set, whether they could hear our trash talking from the live stream, whether we were so loud that it got to the wall. I don't think so. But just in case, okay, case we're saying some things. I apologize in advance. I didn't call anyone names. Right?
It's a little bit too late right now, Michael. So you know, as maybe as a way of offering our olive branch, right? I'm just gonna ask you some of the questions that we're gonna ask them, right?
Okay.
Just so that you feel what it's like to be a competitor.
Okay.
Right? So
okay.
out of the 4 problems that we see, based on your visual observation, which one do you think is the most challenging one for you if you were to climb these 4 problems?
Wow. Like really. I would say definitely the slab wall is gonna be a hard one for me.
Okay.
I'm not well practiced on slab walls, and the pressing and pushing movements are always very challenging because it's the route setters have always curated these challenges very well so that you don't do them in isolation. You always gotta press while you're balancing, and that's the hard part for me. I enjoy the overhangs, so I think second to that though, I feel like problem number 1, the one with the big green pinchers and the slopers and overhang. It's a bit of an underdog as far as the difficult climbs go. I feel like that climb, big holes and all, is actually will actually be surprisingly difficult for anyone who tries to climb it.
Right. I think the holes are deceivingly friendly. I think it's a way that I would put it.
They appear generous, but they're gonna cheat your money. You put your hand on, and then you realize that
whoa, I'm falling.
Yeah, it's so big, but it's so useless. Right? There's nothing for you to grip onto. You're hanging for dear life. And then worse yet, you need to press onto something like that, and you need to move from point to point. So that is always extra demanding because as far as humans go, this is how our hands work, right? If you get to grip onto something, this is biomechanically advantageous. This is how our hands were built, right? The muscles in there were designed to grip and close the fingers. Now, when your fingers don't get to close, what happens is the muscles don't get to go into an optimal position either.
Right.
And now you're gripping something in a less than optimal position, and then in that less than optimal position, you need to exert extra force so that you can move. that's the science behind why many climbers climbing on these type of compression, big
Right.
holds problems, right? They always get pumped so easily
Right.
because it's just multiple disadvantageous positions stacked on one another, thrown
then-
at you all at the same time.
And then when you bring that into the picture, that's really where energy preservation becomes
course.
so important.
Yes.
Time
yes.
management becomes so
Yes.
important, right? So speaking about time management, I think the ladies outside are ready for the interview
yeah,
right now.
yeah,
So
absolutely. Let's
you know
hear
you
from
don't want to
them.
hear from us. We're gonna hand the time over to Divya. So over to you, Divya.
All right, so we're here with some of our participants from the Open Women's semi-finals just now. Let's hear from them. So hi, tell us your name and who you're representing or where you're from.
Hi, my name is Li Ting. I'm from Singapore and I represent Team BFF.
Slay Team BFF. All right, so could you tell us, Li Ting, how and when did you get into climbing?
I started climbing, I think maybe 14 years ago. Yeah, so I was working part-time at a gym at that time. And then I just after work, I just stay back and I climb with everybody. And then I just fell in love with bouldering.
I love that for you. It's like an after-work activity. That sounds so cute.
It was just very fun because everybody was there. And then I was just very curious and very keen to learn from everyone.
I love that, really. So, building on that, building on the whole fun and curious thing, what was the most fun route that you just did during the semi-finals?
I think all the routes were pretty fun. I think I really enjoyed the first route, and I thought the last route was quite interesting as well because apparently I didn't do it the intended way.
Ooh, all right, like challenging norms, creative energy there, yeah?
Yeah, I guess there's different ways to solve the route. Yeah.
I think there's always different solutions to the same problem. And just on that, what are some encouraging words, like maybe a one-liner or something, for the new climbers of today?
I think just have fun. I always feel like the best climber is the one having the most fun. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much for that. And we'll be hearing from another climber very, very shortly. So thank you very much, Li Ting, and have a good rest. All right. Hello. So could you tell us your name and where you're from or who you're representing?
I'm Glenna. I'm representing All Sports Equipment, Space Rock, and Bermuda. Yeah.
Slay. Hi, Glenna. So, so when and how did you actually get into climbing?
I started climbing when I was 13. I started in Springfield Secondary School as a CCA, and then I progressed. I started training and getting good at it, so I continued.
I like that. Starting young, that's a great way to start, like a new passion, a new hobby kind of thing. So just to build on that, what was the most fun route for you just now during the semifinals?
Actually, I think 1 and 2 was equally as fun, because incline wall, I love incline wall.
Oh, nice. Okay, so she has her strengths, she has her passions. It's an incline wall. All right. So could you just give us some encouraging words for the new climbers of today?
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
And slay.
Slay. I love that. Slay. Thank you so much, Glenna. Have a great rest after the semifinals. And with that, back to you, Weiren and Michael.
Okay, so hopefully one day we get to see you out there being interviewed by one of our student MCs, Michael.
The only reason why I'll be interviewed is if I say something wrong and then I go out there, they got public shaming.
Okay, so we've come to the end of the day. Thank you for hanging out with us for one whole day. We're just going to do a quick recap as well as give you a summary of what to expect tomorrow, and we'll be off. So today we saw great climbing from the Open Men, Open Women at the qualifying rounds as well as the semi-finals, and we also saw the intermediate men going at it at the semis as well as intermediate women attempting their semis, and this all will culminate into the finals event tomorrow, but I'll leave more of that for Michael. So what's happening tomorrow, Michael?
Oh yeah, tomorrow we're going to see the return, hopefully, of many of the crowd favorites. We have some many notable climbers that turned up today, local legends, returning climbers, and young and upcoming climbers as well from Singapore and around the region. So you want to stay tuned for that. Speaking of actually who's coming back tomorrow, we'd like you to check out the SMU Gravical Stories update. They have a link in there to a Climb Buddy website. It's got the live results. You can search it by category. You can look for your friends specifically. It's updated live.
That's right.
It's going to keep you, tuned in to all the things that are happening in this event.
Yeah. There's
So-
actually 2 more people coming back tomorrow,
Oh yeah.
and that's me and you.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Of course. Yes.
And we'll be
yes.
coming back here at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
8 a.m. bright and
That's-
early.
That's when the live stream for tomorrow would start.
Yeah, of course. And speaking of like live stream, just so you know what's happening tomorrow, we're going to start first with the under 17 finals. That's going to happen nice and early at 9 o'clock. And then we're going to move on to novice, intermediate, and then open with, of course, the open finals, grand finals happening at about 4 p.m. You want to join us from about 4 p.m. because we're going to actually have the a unique feature of the SMU Campus Live, the Samba Masala Percussions Group. They're going to be here. They're going to help us kick off the event. And trust me, you don't want to miss the energy that they're going to bring.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And I believe there's only one more thing to do before we end the night. Thank you for hanging out here with us on stream for the whole day. Right. Thank you so much, chat. And we're gonna end the day with a quick message from our sponsors. Otherwise, my name is Weiren. He's Michael. We'll see you tomorrow. Right.
See you tomorrow.
Let's take a look at our sponsors.
Right, closing off today's live stream segment, we'd like to do a big shout out, thank you to our event sponsors. Official presenting partner, of course, for SMU Gravical 2023 is All Sports Equipment, specialist supplier of quality climbing and mountaineering equipment. And they bring with them the brands like Petzl and Unparalleled. Thank you. The official hydration will be 100 Plus and Ice Mountain, together with FNN. Official climbing gym for SMU Gravical 2023, it's Boulder Planet, the biggest bouldering gym in the north of Singapore. Official hangboard is Climba. And official physiotherapy partner, of course, people like me need physio. You can see it, there's already blood on my hands from climbing yesterday. The Rehab Lab, they're the people to look for if you have nagging pains or if you just need someone to check you out physically to make sure that you're ready for your next session. Right, so thank you, big thank you to all our event partners and sponsors. You have helped us make this event possible. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. And I think that will be it from SMU Gravical 2023.
That's right,
My name is
SMU
Michael.
Gravical. My name is Weiren. SMU Gravical is proudly brought to you by the SMU Office of Student Life as well as the SMU Climb Team. Have a good night.